Hello and welcome. I'm Robin Harper. Now, I have a very sobering yet important topic to talk to you about today. You're probably aware of the staggering increase in the rate of suicide in our communities today, and the Australian Bureau of Statistics puts this rate at 49 Australian adults commit suicide every week. That's double the road toll. Additionally, 1 million people experience depression. 2 million experience chronic anxiety, and on average, 1 woman per week dies at the hand of her partner or ex-partner as a result of uncontrollable anger, domestic violence. Just take a moment to digest those figures. It's pretty alarming, isn't it? And all statistics aside, you may well know somebody who's been in that sort of situation. You may have lost a loved one. Now, how would you like to be able to contribute to a solution that could bring relief to people who are experiencing these intense states of being that can get out of control? Things like chronic anxiety, depression, uncontrollable anger. What would you give, if it was somebody that you were close to, somebody you loved? Well, with me today is Russel Kennard. And Russel is a research psychotherapist with 35 years experience. Russel has been working on a computer program that people can self-manage that he hopes to develop into an app to enable people to do just that. Hi Russel, thanks for joining us today.
Hi Robin.
Russel, just from the little bit of information I know about this program that you've been working on, it sounds like it can really turn people's lives around. How did you come to develop it?
It started when I had a woman come and see me. She couldn't find a remedy anywhere else for her acute anxiety.
Oh, okay.
So I started working with her, didn't know what to do, threw the rule book out the window, tried anything and everything I could in my toolbox, nothing was working. And then one day I asked her a simple question, and I watched this perfectly capable looking adult dissolve into a child just crying, like about 5 years of age.
Wow.
And that said to me, that gave me the key of where to look. I needed to explore that avenue. So that's really what started it.
Okay. So how did that develop then into a computer program rather than face-to-face interaction?
Well, there were a lot of steps before I got to the computer program. But essentially, when this woman dissolved into the child, I needed to look at her personality in really fine increments, much more finely than usually do. I developed a question and answer system to try and discover what she was actually feeling at that time and what moods and feelings and personas that she'd had beforehand. That gave me a picture of her personality.
Because we all have different parts, different aspects to our personality, don't we?
We do, and some of them are larger parts, like roles that we have, but some of them are also very tiny and we don't even notice them. They go past in a flash of a second.
Okay.
And that's what happened with this woman. And when we tracked it down, it was actually a fleeting thought just went through her mind and changed.
So what happened in the long run with her?
Okay, well, let's go the short run. The short run is that in 8 weeks, she had her anxiety under total control.
Wow, okay.
She's since become a good friend of mine, and 10 years later, 12 years later now,
Yes.
she still doesn't have chronic anxiety. She's free of it.
Wow.
And she still uses the program, but she uses it in her head.
Yes, yeah, you internalise it.
Yeah, she's got it in her head.
Wow.
So she said to me the other day, she said, I felt myself getting anxious, and she said, I recognised my mellow yellow persona. And she said, I just thought of my yellow mellow persona, moved into that, and she said, there was no anxiety, and I just continued with the day. And she said, That's how she's been dealing with her life ever since.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And also, since that time, I've had a lot of success with people doing anger management.
Brilliant. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, while our emotions are there for a reason and we need to experience them, we just don't want them to get out of control and cause havoc in our lives, I imagine.
No, they're essential to us knowing what's going on inside us and around us. But like you say, when they get out of control, the man that actually there were several men who I put through a pilot study for anger management, and they had it resolved within 5 and 6 weeks.
Wow. Russell, this sounds truly remarkable and yet so simple. It even sounds like it could be a bit of fun. So what's it called again?
It's called My Personalities.
My Personalities.
And it is fun. People report it as fun, especially when
Wow.
they're discovering the bits of themselves.
Yeah, okay.
The first thing we needed to do when describing all the bits of personality is to find out a way to identify them clearly. And one of the key things that we're able to do is to identify them through colour and give them a name. So that's what we did in the computer program. The computer program is a method for people to identify all of these parts of their personality, which includes their thoughts in their head, feelings, and as well as some of their behaviours.
Terrific. I can see how, because a lot of people would feel like it's just all a big blur, and you're helping to bring awareness and to recognise exactly what's going on. Sounds great.
That's the key part of the part of the process, to
Beautiful.
get rid of the fog and to make it clear.
Okay, so what does that mean?
And giving a name and a colour for the moods and behaviours that people are describing gives them a way to identify them in future.
Terrific.
And then from then on, we created a map. It was like a road map of her personality.
Yes.
And this has been put on the computer as well, so that people can go on the computer and do everything that this other person has done, and they can create their own road map as well.
Terrific.
And with the road map, you get to look at it and you place your moods and attitudes on the road map in a way which the helpful ones go on the top and the unhelpful ones are at the bottom, and you see how they're all linked together. And then you have a choice of working out, or the person who's using the program has a choice of working out which parts of themselves they want to move into and which they want to avoid, because they can see the directions on the road map. So that's essentially it.
So the awareness itself helps them to manage where they choose to go.
Yes, the awareness kicks in very early, and as soon as people start to describe a number of their parts of their personality, they get a sense of confidence about it, because something that they couldn't see before becomes tangible.
Right, okay. Lovely. So now, is this something that is useful only for people with chronic situations is concerned?
No, it's a great self-awareness tool, and you mentioned before it heightens awareness. Well, that actually brings a person's mindfulness. But it's not the same mindfulness as you get in meditation. It's it's an inward mindfulness about how the parts of your body's working and what you're thinking and what you're feeling. And the beauty of it is it takes no effort. Once you do it, it's there. You don't have to think about it. You just become aware of it when you need to.
Sounds very simple.
So it is conceptually, it's very simple.
Okay, great. Another advantage I can see is that if people are immersed in a really intense situation, not everybody feels like going out and finding a therapist and saying, "Hi, I've got a problem, do you want to help me with it?" Sometimes you feel very internalised and don't want to go out there. So with this program, which you're planning to turn into an app, then you'll be able to do it in your own privacy.
Yes, on any mobile device, anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace.
Okay, fantastic.
But it's also something that you could work with your own therapist with as well if you wanted to. So you can do it by yourself or with a therapist.
Lovely. Well, it sounds fantastic. So how can people... So it's a computer program now. You're trying to develop it into an app. What needs to happen for that to take place?
Well, the first thing that needs to happen is we need expressions of interest from people.
Okay.
And they do that by sending us their email if they're interested in this area, and then we will keep them updated with the progress of how things are going. Also, when people send us their email, they get the opportunity to look at the development stages of the program and have a look at it and test it out and give us some feedback of what they want in it or what they wouldn't want in it.
Okay, so when people email you, and we'll show the email after our talk, the email address after our talk, so people email you and then you're going to send them a link that gives them access to the program as it's developing, and that'll be a computer link. So what do you need to turn it into an app?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things we need is money.
Okay, that's fairly standard. Okay, how much do you need?
Around $30,000 to do what we're looking at, and that's producing the app. And this is very radical. The whole process is radical with this. Not only is the therapy very different, but the way of teaching it is different. So I'm looking at creating videos, computer-generated videos that people can walk through, so that they don't have to read anything. They just walk through this journey of somebody else's life, and at each point of the journey where the other person has gone through a therapeutic process, then there'll be an opportunity on the app for the person to do that same process. And then the CGI character's journey continues, and then there'll be another process that she does, and the viewer gets to watch that, and then there's an opportunity for them to do that as well. So the therapeutic self-exploration part of the program is actually built in to the video story of a real person and their journey.
Brilliant. It's fantastic. So people will be able to access that stage by stage. Once they've emailed you, you'll send the link so they can access it stage by stage. And now, how quickly will this unfold?
It'll unfold as quickly as we get donations to build it.
Okay, all right. So there's the message. You need donations for this to unfold. And of course, I imagine any amount, big or small, is going to be a help. So long as now people don't have to donate up front to receive the information and to keep informed.
No.
But I gather if they want to receive the completed app by the end, there'll have to be a donation of some amount made at some stage along the line. Is that right? Yes. Okay. All right.
So I'm inviting people's involvement to look at each stage, give us feedback, and that would give us an opportunity to redesign it if it needs redesigning in any way. But before the end of all that, they need to donate if they want to receive the final app. So they'll probably get about half of the app before they need to pay anything to get it.
It sounds quite revolutionary, Russell. So congratulations, and let's see how it all unfolds. So if you'd like to help turn Russell's program My Personalities into a landslide movement to help millions, then email Russell at the email address at the end of the program. Thanks for watching.